Some dreams begin quietly. They don't shout. They don't demand attention. They just live inside you, waiting. Since childhood, there was one dream. Not big, not impossible, just something simple that brought happiness. Hours were spent practicing, learning, failing, trying again. It wasn't about being the best. It was about feeling alive. But in that house, dreams didn't matter much. Only useful things mattered. Only things that could bring money, respect, and approval. One day, everything changed. There was a small conversation. Quiet. Short. Almost like it didn't mean anything. But it meant everything. A few items were taken. Sold. Just like that. For almost nothing. $2. That was the price placed on something that meant the world. No explanation. No regret. Just a simple sentence. This is not important. But it was. It was everything. And in that moment, something broke. Not just the dream, but the belief that it mattered. After that day, everything felt different. The space where the dream once lived became quiet. Too quiet. There was no more practice. No more excitement. No more reason to try. At first, there was anger. Why would someone do that? But anger didn't last long. It slowly turned into something heavier. Acceptance. Not the peaceful kind. The painful kind. The kind that says, maybe it was never important anyway. Days turned into months. Life continued, but something was missing. A part of the soul had been packed away. And sold for almost nothing. But deep down, hidden under all the silence, the dream wasn't completely gone. It was just waiting. Years passed. Life became busy. Responsibilities grew. But sometimes, in quiet moments, memories returned. The feeling of that dream. The happiness it once brought. At first, it hurt too much to think about it. But slowly, that pain started to change. It became curiosity. What if I try again? The thought was scary. What if it fails again? What if it's too late? But something inside whispered. It's already gone. What more can you lose? So, quietly, it began again. Not with confidence. Not with skill. Just with hope. The first attempts were difficult. Everything felt harder than before. But this time, something was different. There was no one to stop it. This time, the journey was slow, but stronger. Every step mattered. Every mistake became a lesson instead of a reason to quit. There was no pressure to prove anything. Only one goal. Bring the dream back to life. Days turned into nights of effort. Moments of doubt came and went. But the difference now was clear. The dream was no longer fragile. It had survived loss, silence, and time. That made it stronger than before. Opportunities slowly began to appear. Small at first. Then bigger. Recognition came, not from those who once ignored it, but from people who saw its value. And for the first time, there was a deep realization. What was once sold for $2 was never truly worth that little. 12 years passed. Life had changed. The dream that was once taken away had become something real again. Something meaningful. Something strong. And then one day, there was a knock. Unexpected. Uncomfortable. The past had returned. There was hesitation before opening the door. And when it opened, everything felt still. The same face. The same voice. But everything else had changed. This time, there was no power in that presence. Only a quiet request. I need help. Just like that. After all those years. After everything that was taken. Now, there was asking. In that moment, time seemed to pause. Memories rushed back. The dream. The loss. The silence. The years of rebuilding. Everything. There were many emotions. Hurt, anger, confusion. But also something unexpected. Clarity. The past could not be changed. But the present could. There were two choices. Hold on to the pain. Or move forward with strength. And the truth became clear. The dream was never really about what was lost. It was about what was rebuilt. Slowly, a decision was made. Not out of weakness. Not out of obligation. But out of growth. Because the person standing there was no longer the same. The one who lost everything for $2 had become someone who understood true value. And that value could not be bought, sold, or taken away again. So whatever choice was made in that moment, it didn't define the past. It defined the future. And this time, the dream belonged to the one who never gave up on it.